still in my eBay store. Hi friends, welcome back. If you are a subscriber, you are my old friends, and if you are new to my channel or thinking of subscribing, you might be my new friends. Anyway, my name is Julie, and I have been doing episodes on what has not sold yet in my eBay store. I have an eBay store that's Attic Treasures Flea Market. If you haven't visited that to browse, I welcome you, and I welcome you to my channel. Today's episode is my last episode of things I can't sell in my eBay store, or things that have not yet sold in my eBay store. If you've seen my previous videos, I chuckle about it, and it's tongue-in-cheek because eventually everything sells. So I don't want you to be disappointed, though, that this might be the last episode. I will be returning with my husband. We've spent the winter in Texas, and in 1 week we will be returning to Maine, and I'm going to start a new episode, and it's going to be real fun. I'll tell you more about that later in this video, but in the meantime, let's get to it. And first and foremost, let's see. I have two hauls. One is the first one is a thrifting haul, and then the second one is a picking haul. And this, I'm going to stand up for you, is from my thrifting haul. And I love it. It's a big smiley face. So thumbs up for that. So let's get to it. This is going to be my thrifting haul and things that I have not yet sold in my eBay store. Keep in mind that these items that I'll show you have only been in my eBay store for 30 days or less. So, and FYI, I did sell two things. All right, let's start off with, I don't know, what do you want to start off with? I want to start off with these roosters. Rooster and hen, hen and rooster. They are salt and pepper shakers. Let's see if you can see their holes. One has 3, one has 2. And these are not old. They have the rubber stoppers, however. And they're just, I love the colors. They're multicolor, ceramic rooster and hen. I call this the hen because it's the one that's sitting maybe on her eggs. And this is the rooster. Maybe he's watching over her. I don't know. Still in my eBay store. And then, oh, when I found these, I thought these were beautiful. These are Destinos made in Portugal. They are fish bowls. I have 2 of them. And I love the color. And I'm going to show them to you like, oops, let's see. How about like this? Anyway, I'm going to show you one at a time because they really are a beautiful color. It's like a sea blue and white. And on the back, they are marked. Looks like the mark was starting to come off on that one. And this one, a lot of that mark was coming off. But I'm selling these as a set of 2. And being from Maine, I call them fish chowder bowls. This would make a great big fish chowder bowl. Or you could use it for whatever you would like. Again, a set of 2. Still in my eBay store. I love those. I'd have to say that's probably my favorite thing from this lot. And you'll have to let me know in the comments below after you've seen everything, what's your favorite? These seem to be big sellers. I've never had any of these myself, but these are by Anthropology, made in Portugal. They're 2 bowls, and I'll describe it as a gray, purplish gray. Fluted, ribbed. They look brand new. And I'll show you the back here. Anthropology, same here. And I'm selling these as a set of 2. Yes, still in my eBay store. And then, I don't usually buy just one plate, but this one caught my eye, so I could not resist. Being that spring is sprung, or in most places of the country, definitely here in Texas, it was early this year. This is a beautiful, I just love the flowers on this. It's like an off-white dinner plate with yellow, I'm gonna say mustard yellow flowers and butterflies. And it's Ironstone by Sheffield, made in USA. And because I love this so much, I only have this one plate, but I think I'm going to be on the lookout for more because I do love this plate. And we'll do, spring, but summer's coming real soon, so who doesn't need a lemonade tray? This is wood with the cutout handles. What does that say? 10 cents a glass for lemonade. Nothing overly special about it. All wood or composite, I guess. Maybe the bottom is composite, but it's the design that I really liked. Still in my eBay store. Now this, I couldn't believe I got this. I've been, in one of my other videos, I talked about purses, pocketbooks, handbags, tote bags, and this, now hopefully, I'll be able to give you a good idea. It's a very pale green. And maybe I'll put my computer down because it seems to be reflecting terribly. And that's the outdoors, I can't help that. But it's got little bubbles. And it's glass. I call this a tote bag. And it's got applied clear handles. And again, the glass itself is like a very light green with a lot of bubbles. And I just think this is marvelous. Now, I have seen when strolling the antique stores, I have seen some people make, I saw one, and I've seen one before, a lamp out of this. And I think that would be a great idea. Or, I wouldn't, they basically drilled a hole in the bottom, which I don't like to destroy items that look this pretty with a hole, but they electrified it, and it did. It looked really good. So, I wouldn't call this old. It's, maybe a home, I don't know, home decor. I would put a beautiful, and right now, this time of the year, a tulip arrangement in there. Very nice. I still like the fish the best though. And then I had acquired, a friend of mine had given me a whole bunch of glassware, and he used to work for Coors Light, and the logo on it was very, very faded. So I used some vinegar and a little, one of those scrubbies, and I removed it. And what I ended up with, I believe it's a set of 4 or 5 of the Pilsners. These are 12-ounce Pilsners. I would have loved to have kept the logo, but it really, really, really was very worn off. And then they also had the stemware, the 12-ounce stemware. The toughest part to getting that gold off, a lot of that gold Coors Light was already rubbed off, but it was around the rim. So that took a little doing. And then I think with the stemware, I only have 4 of those. And then I guess these are sampler glasses. They again had the logo for Coors Light, but that I did remove. So just two sampler glasses in my eBay store. So I'm going to show you a reel of that haul, and there's a couple of things in there that you didn't see, and that's because I sold them. There's also a few other things in there that I'm not selling, because I actually, when I went thrifting that day, I bought a few things for me, including this fun sweatshirt. And when I'm out and about and I wear, everybody kind of acknowledges people in different ways. I don't know why, it just comes naturally. I give the peace sign. And so when I came across this at the thrift store, I couldn't resist. It was mine. My plan was to do a DIY with it, and I just haven't gotten around to it. But it's ceramic. Peace to you. Okay. Go ahead and watch that reel and come right back for haul number 2. I sped this video up just a bit for you. And while you're watching this, you'll probably spy 5 things that I didn't show you. 3 of them I bought for myself when I went thrifting, and 2 of the items did sell. The stuff that was for me was, for instance, the smiley face sweatshirt, the votive candles that were pumpkin spice, and the peace sign. And at the end of this video, I'll let you know what the 2 items sold for. That includes tax and shipping, and then my net profits. This Woolrich Sherpa Black Bear pillow. Got that at a Goodwill for 99 cents. And then the old cutting board. I got that at Goodwill also for 99 cents. I love those old cutting boards. Welcome back. This is the second part, the second haul. And this haul is a picked haul. And I'm already more than halfway through my cup of coffee. It's the second one this morning, so join me for this second haul. Now, these are things that are still in my eBay store. And I don't know why, but that's okay. Like I said before, everything eventually sells. Now, in this case, today is Sunday, and April 1st is this Wednesday. So in transitioning from our home here in Texas to our home back in Maine, I will be closing out my Texas inventory effective this Wednesday early morning. That means everything here in Texas that you've seen, whether in this video or previous videos, will remain in Texas. And then, don't be disappointed. I will begin Wednesday afternoon into the evening posting Maine inventory. It's all the fun stuff that I have back in Maine. And a little hint on what my channel might have when I return is I have 2 very, very full storage garages back home. They measure about, I think, 20 by 10 feet, and they're both jam-packed. And I call it organized clutter or my chaos, but I know where everything is. It's just, you know, it will take some time to be able to organize it in a way to bring you in those storage garages with me. But that's a hint of some things that I'll be sharing with you when I do return to Maine. That is going to be in about a week. So in the meantime, if you do order anything from my eBay store before I leave, before I close out my Texas inventory, I am a stickler for a 1-day handling. That means it's pretty much out the door quite quickly. And then when I start to list my Maine listings, there will be a bit of a lag time with shipping. And you'll see that in the listing until I return to Maine. Once I get back to Maine, I am back to my 1-day handling time. So let's see. This is my, I'm going to call it my picking haul. And I have some wonderful, wonderful lamps to show you. Now, I have a lot of lamps back in Maine. Just a small amount of them are here in Texas, but my source for lamps is right here in Northeast Texas. I have a wonderful honey hole. And this one in particular, I'm going to make sure I pronounce it correctly. Chinoiserie. It's like a Ming vase style lamp. And it's porcelain and beautiful. I'm going to show it to you up close. It has a wooden base. I call those temple bases. It's got those stubby legs. And it's a 3-way lamp. When you measure lamps, by the way, you know, they go from the tabletop to the top of the light bulb there where the light bulb would screw in. This one in particular is 19 inches. It's not light in weight, that's for sure. These type of lamps are always pretty heavy. But I'll back up here so you can see the whole thing. And it's beautiful. Again, this is not my style, but I do know there are a lot of lovers of this style out there. And I have done well in the past with selling these chinoiserie lamps. And then, simple candlestick. This has a pretty shiny gold base and a maroon or brick red candlestick. White on the top there. And by the way, I always check all my lamps to make sure they are wired well or that they work properly. And all the lamps that are in my eBay store are A1. So there's no doubting that. There are times when I do rewire my lamps, but in these cases, none of these have been rewired by me. This one stands 23 inches tall, and it's just a single candlestick lamp. But, and none of my shades, I mean, none of my lamps come with shades. I do sell shades, but I have found that selling lamps separately are both easier for the customer and for me. I wouldn't be able to pack a lamp and a lampshade in the same box anyway. So this lamp is, I call it Stifle Style. It is a 3-way. It is an older lamp. I do not believe that this is Stifle, however, so that's why I say Stifle Style. The bottom on this is kind of aged, and I've been meaning to kind of fix that. It's just a matter of pulling that and kind of re-adhering it to the sides. But in the meantime, it does have an older style plug. And I think I told you already that it is a 3-way. I would call that a like an antiqued brushed bronze. And that stands probably, I'll call that 21.5 inches. So, and if you are looking for lamps or might be looking for lamps, then I do invite you to return for when I do return to Maine, because I have lamps. It's an understatement. Okay, lampshades. I have 2 lampshades here to show you. And just a quick thing about lampshades. When you're doing your measurements or when you're looking at listings, the correct way of giving measurements is the top diameter, then the bottom diameter, and then the height. And if there's a bit of a curve to it, it's basically, this one isn't curved, but it would be the true height from top to bottom, not taking into account any bell curve to it. This one is pleated. It's cream on the outside, white on the inside, and there are a couple of specks of aging, but you can always tuck those in the back. A very nice pleated lampshade. And then my previous videos talked about fitters. This one has the spider fitter. Remember, the spider fitter is what you have your harp, and then you put this on top of the harp, and you usually have a finial. The Uno fitters are the ones that kind of recess down into the lamp. Unlike this, it's just maybe an inch, usually about a 1/2 inch down. The Uno fitters are actually several inches deep. They come to about midway, and they're meant to actually, the Uno fitter fits on the light bulb setting. I think I've lost my train of thought. But it does not come with a finial. It's meant to set down onto the light bulb. This one is, this is like a golden tan. Again, pleated, white on the inside, a beautiful shimmer. And I have had lots of luck selling lampshades this winter. And I do have quite an assortment of lampshades back home. Now, this is just an over-the-door garment rack. Nothing old about this. This is pretty much new. It fits over your door. It's got the hooks, 4 hooks, and then it's got the other kind of, I don't know how you want to describe that, but you can throw your coat over that, your hat, your baseball cap, anything you want. That's an item in my eBay store, and most of my items in my eBay store, not all, are vintage or antiques. Definitely, I guess you could say secondhand. And in some cases, they're new items. It's, again, this is a pick that I gotten, and when you pick, if you get something that somebody will love, then you just pick it. This is a leftover from Christmas. It's a beautiful, big wicker basket, rattan sleigh. It's got some metal scrolling for the sleigh part. I'll show you the bottom. And it has the scrolling metal in the back. It's adorned with some holly leaves and some holly. And I actually have been using this for quite a few years in my own home for Christmas. And for the first time, I decided to go ahead and list it. Now, I'm guilty. Did I list it before Christmas? Of course not. I mean, why be so logical? I actually decided after this Christmas that I was going to go ahead and put that up on eBay. So I fully did not intend for that to sell. There are people who buy Christmas items off season, and that's why it's there. And I look at it this way. All of these items, including that basket, that sleigh basket, will be available in my eBay store. If they're not sold by this Wednesday, they will be there again when I return to Texas at the start of December. Sometimes my husband and I sneak down here, maybe in the month of September, October, and if that's the case, I may throw up a few of those listings just to get them going for that period of time that we're here. But it's always a guarantee that we return as snowbirds here to Texas. So in the meantime, I'm going to follow this with a quick reel of what you just saw. And there is one lampshade that's sold. So keep an eye out for that lampshade. And I will let you know. I might even share a picture of a photo, a reel of what my office setting looks like here in Texas. I did clean it up for you. There are times, especially when I'm packing, that it looks pretty messy, but it is straightened up. I'm getting ready to kind of, make it look nice before we leave. And so it looks nice for you too, but that is most of my stuff, my office. There's a room in the house here that I use that's quiet, that is, I can put all my stuff in, all of my stuff. I will admit there are some things that don't fit in this room that are kind of scattered through the house, but that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this reel and this episode, and I will see you again. There's going to be a bit of a lag time between my now and my next video. Probably about a week or so, and it's because we'll be in transit. We drive, by the way. It's a 3-day drive, 2 nights overnight, and I'll put a short video in, giving you a preview of my one of my storage spaces, just a teaser. So until we see each other again, and the next time you see me, I will be in Maine. Thank you. Again, I sped up this runway reel, and I want you to look out for the one shade that I didn't show you, because yes, I sold it. And that's going to be coming up real soon. Following this, I will let you know how much the customer paid for it and what my net profit was. Yes, the brown and tan chevron pattern burlap lampshade sold to a friend of mine back home. So that's coming back home to Maine with me. No shipping. Okay, I'm going to try doing a voiceover as I walk you through my office here in Texas. So organized, or at least that's how it looks right now. This is a shelving unit that I keep most all of my goodies on. And like I had mentioned, there are other goodies that are in the closet that I'll show you. And then there are some that are scattered throughout my house. Can't seem to fit them all in this one room, but I certainly try. This is the seat I sit at, and I started doing this in between the two reels that I just showed you. There's my peace sign. Anyway, my computer, my laptop, my printer, business stuff like thank you notes, shipping supplies, and this is to die for. I got this years ago at an auction. It's my fainting couch, leopard pattern. My husband hates it, and I love it. And I do. I take naps on it in between, doing busy stuff on eBay. And another thing that my husband doesn't love is this ottoman. It's one of those Highland cows. I love it. This is that runway that I talked to you about. It's an old ironing board that I set up my things before I list them on eBay. And those are the items that I had just showed you there. Now, my closet. Oh, I'm a master packer, and I just seem to fit everything that I need to in the best way. I got some lamps on the floor. I even have stuff. There's my lampshades. I do have some items in here that I did not have the time to list on eBay. I have office supplies in here. It's a catch-all, but like I said, master packer. Now, I noticed that you really don't see all the lamps that I have above there. Some of them are already in my eBay store, and some of them need to be worked on. They didn't work on them in time to put them in my eBay store. So that's it. That's a wrap. I'll be leaving this Texas home in just a few days, but I wanted to share this with you.